All right, everybody, good morning. I just can't seem to get away from these beavers this year. Keep getting called back in. I wanted to show you, this is a big water uh, reservoir, and last season they had a big issue with flooding here at this reservoir, and it's up right now again too because of the rain that we've had. But I ended up making contact with the owner and helping him out, getting all the beaver trapped out of here last season, and gained access to be able to fish this lake, this reservoir. So I come back over here yesterday and fished and caught a few crappie. And while I was out here, I was noticing that some beaver sign. There's some beavers that moved back in here. Now, the reason I know that I got them all caught out of here last year is because I come back this year and looked at this lake back in the middle of season, and there was no new activity here. And then when I got over here crappie fishing yesterday, I noticed a lot of cuttings. You can tell right down here on the bottom of this tree, we got some cuttings right here, and there's a few cuttings back over this way. Not a whole lot along that edge. Some dead sticks piled up here on the banks in a couple of different places, and not just a huge amount, just a few small peeled sticks you can see right down here. But with me trapping this lake and knowing it, I know that there was 4 beaver huts on this lake, and at one time there was a lot of beaver activity here. But you've got one hut right over here on this edge. Oh, you guys probably won't be able to see it on camera. I can just barely make it out by my eye. And then right out here at the point of these trees, there was another hut. But when I come in here in the wintertime and check this lake, this hut was still here because I went to it to see if there's any activity around it. But when I got out here fishing yesterday, the hut's completely gone. They've disassembled the hut. It's no longer there. And my thinking on that is the reason, I'm thinking a couple of 2-year-old beaver moved into here and found this paradise with 4 houses on it, and they moved into it and want to call it their own. And I think they disassembled that hut because there's 4 of them here. I think they disassembled that one so that another pair of beavers wouldn't move into it and be competition for them. So I think that's what happened. May not be. If you guys have got a different theory, let me know. But we go back over to this side of this road, to this side of the reservoir, and there's a huge, one of the biggest, or 2 of the biggest huts I've ever seen. There's one back over here on the edge of these woods, and that's where the activity was at yesterday. That's the one that they're using. So that's the one that I'm gonna go set some traps on today. But there's a ditch that runs right through here, and about that bend in that ditch down there, cut off to the right, there's a huge hut over here, and I'm going to show you guys that one on camera here in a minute when I walk down there. And then on the other side of this channel, there's a little ditch that runs into this, and there's another big hut right there on the edge of that ditch. And didn't see any activity at that one, nor at the one over here on this edge. But the big one back over here is where they've been going in and out, piling a bunch of new sticks on top and some fresh mud. So I'm gonna put traps around the entrances of that hut, and then there's one spot right over here I'll show you guys too, where they built a big the only castor mound I've seen. They've got a huge castor mound built where they've been coming in and out and chewing up on the bank, and I'll show you guys where that's at. Whenever I get to it, I'm gonna put a drowning rod on it. But anyway, so these four sets are what I'm gonna make this morning, and we'll see what happens. And then if I need to, I can come back and make more sets at a later time. Hopefully we can get them caught pretty quick. Like I said, I think there's only 2 of them in here, but we'll know after we get these traps set. And one good thing, I'm gonna set all kill traps. In the state of Arkansas, kill traps, they've got a 72-hour check on them. So that'll give us, with everything going on, that'll give us a few more days. I'll still try to get over here every day and get them checked. But if I can't, I'm still within the law of don't have to worry about it and fret with it. I've got 72 hours to get over here and get these checked every day. But all right, guys, stick tight. I'm gonna get my waders on, and we're gonna walk back in here and get these sets made. All right, guys, as I'm standing here talking to you, I believe I can see one of the beavers. About that wood line over there, I don't know if you guys will be able to tell it on camera or not, but about that wood line, there's a wake where a beaver's actually swimming across the water. Now, when I was over here fishing yesterday, I didn't see any of the beaver, but I did see a muskrat. But that was a big wake. I'm pretty sure that was going to be one of our beavers. And he's not too far from this second hut that I was talking about over here, so I may end up, I didn't get all the way to this second hut because it's just a little ditch. I couldn't get my fishing boat down, but I may end up having to, once we get these sets made, I may have to bring the canoe over here and try to get back over here to this hut. They may be using it as well. But anyway, hang tight, guys, and we'll get back in here and show you what we got. All right, guys, so I'm down here at the edge of this lake now. I just come down this trail here on the side, and you can see right here that the water level comes all the way up here to this trail on both sides. And right here we've got a little point, a little rise that goes out into that lake, and it's the only little point that goes out into it like this. So right up here on the edge of it is a huge castor mound where they've been marking the territory. When we were fishing yesterday, I could see several cuttings up here on this edge where they've been coming up on this dry hill and chewing. And right here you can see a bunch of peeled sticks on the ground, and you can see this huge castor mound that they put in right here. And you can tell as the water's been high and it's been dropping, and you can tell right here at one point the water was up this high where these peeled sticks are, and then they come in here and built this mound. As the water fell, they come back and made another mound here, and then as it fell some more, they come back and they put this big mound in right here. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to look right around this edge here and see if I can find a defined trail where they're coming up out of here. Not seeing anything really right now. Probably what we'll do is come right here where this water's coming in the farthest, and we'll probably put a foothold right out here at the end of it on this drowner, and put us a castor mound, some sand up here, and try to get them to come up. But you can see these chewings. There's some fresh chewings up here on the side of the bottom of this tree. One that they've cut down just right back here. But there's still quite a bit of activity right in here. So we're just going to look around a minute. Here's one that they've taken down. It's pretty shallow right in here to have a trail. They may be coming up on this edge. It kind of drops off a little bit deeper. And there is some peeled sticks over this way. Maybe right here, almost a little bit of a defined trail. Looks like they come up out of there maybe and push these leaves up. I'm not real sure. But I think I'm going to put the trap right in here because there's a deeper drop off. I can take and make me a fake castor mound right up here on this edge. Put the trap just in the water and then have my drowning rod going out here. I think that's what I'm going to do. So alright, guys, I thought I could get down here and sit there. I don't have my water boots on. I just got these little slip-on shoes. So I'm going to walk back up here to the truck and get my waders on, and I'll come back down here and we'll make this set. Alright, guys, got my waders on, walking back out here, and that sun finally made an appearance this morning. So there's our sunrise this morning. Alright, guys, so I'm going to get down here and I'm going to knock out a channel, a little deeper channel, and make me a fake castor mound and get this set put in. I'm just going to kind of stomp down a little bit of a channel here. It's a little bit shallower than the surrounding area. Take a couple of these chew sticks and lay right up there on the bank. Here's one they've been working on, still got some bark on it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to lay it right there. And take and make our slide come right up that edge like we've been doing. Pull some more mud up here. Right here, I'm just digging some mud out of the bottom, and I'm also making a little bit of an indention to set that trap in at the same time. I'm just going to push that end down into the mud. Gonna secure this end here. Make sure that our slide's gonna slide. Guys, this trap got ran over by my Ranger when it was on a trailer. It's a little bit wonky. The jaws don't open up all the way now. One of the side levers has been a little bit, so I really need to straighten that up. But that's the only trap I grabbed this morning, so it's gonna have to work. I may it'll still catch one. I may bring another trap back with me whenever I come back. Guys, I'm just going to take that, set it right there at the edge of the water. We're just going to take this stick that they've been chewing on, lay it right there. We'll lay these other sticks over here. That's just going to be some eye appeal. Something else, guys, I don't think, and this isn't just a real huge castor mound, but we made a disturbance here and it's going to work. But one thing that I think beaver trappers get in the habit of doing, and I'm not sure why, but we get in the habit of just getting one favorite beaver lure. That's what we use. One lure on every set. So what I'm going to do right here, here's one scent, one lure. I'm going to leave it right there. And we're going to get a totally different type of lure, and we're going to use more than one lure, put multiple scents at this set. We're trying to attract these guys and get them as fast as we can. So here's a totally different kind of lure. We're going to put a little bit of it right here on the stick, right here at the edge. He's going to put his nose on that, hopefully step in our trap. But on these lures, guys, I don't know if anybody's, especially canines, but animals don't smell like we smell. Their senses are stronger than what ours are, and what I mean by that is a lot of times, let's say you walk into your house after a long day and your wife's got a pot of soup on the stove, pot of stew. Well, you walk in the house, you immediately smell it, and oh man, that smells delicious. That's a pot of her famous soup. Let's say a coyote comes in right behind you. He walks in the house and he walks in, he smells He smells tomatoes, he smells carrots, he smells peas, he smells the spices, the individual spices that goes into it. He smells the hamburger meat. He breaks it all down into the individual smell itself, and that's what he's smelling. And that's the way animals are. So animals don't smell a pot of soup. They smell every single ingredient in that pot of soup, and it's identifiable to them. So it's just something to think about whenever you're, especially canine trapping, but even it applies to even beavers and other animals too. So put that in the back of your head and just give it some thought. The animals break down individual scents, and each individual scent can cause a different reaction to that animal. So just some food for thought. All right guys, here's our finished set. We got that drowning rod out here, got that half chewed stick bark laid up here. We got some peeled sticks over here to the side. We made us a little bit of a trail coming up out of the water to 2 different scents, and hopefully that'll draw the beavers over here and we'll get them caught. Now the lodge is going to be right back over here, so I'm gonna get my traps, and gonna have to walk out here probably about 100 yards through the water to get to that hut, and I'll show you guys that lodge whenever we get there, and we'll get it set. All right guys, so we're down here. I'm fixing to walk out here to that lodge. That set we made just right up here on that point of that little hill sticking out there, and then come right down here. I'm gonna walk in here to this hut. But I noticed this right here and thought I'd show you guys. There's a mound right out here in the edge of the water, and I already know where they're living in this watershed, but if I didn't, this is a new place I was checking out, I definitely want to look at this island out here in the middle of this water, and they're still going to be using it, the dry spot to get out of the water without getting up on the main bank. But I would look for a lodge in this mound for a bank den, and I think I see a castor mound over there on that other side where somebody's marked this island as his, and I may end up bringing another drowning rod and putting it right in here somewhere. But anyway, just check these areas out whenever you see them. I'm gonna walk right over here and get to this lodge, and I'll show you guys it when we get there. You guys look right up there. I can start seeing the beginning of that hut. Hopefully you guys can see it. But this is one of the bigger huts that I know of in my area. Last year, whenever I first got out here and first set this place up, I got out here on this, I found this hut and I got up on top of it looking around, and when I did, I scared a beaver out of it, and made a kill on that first day being out here trapping them, because I was able to shoot that beaver. And I think it surprised the property caretaker whenever I did text him that first day and told him I'd already got one. And I don't remember I'm almost waist deep now, guys, in water. I don't remember my number out here last year. I want to say it was somewhere around 12 or 14 beaver that I pulled out of this reservoir. I'd have to go back and look at my paperwork to be sure. But I just stepped up to about knee deep, went from waist deep to knee deep. I may have been walking right down the middle of a run there, but let's just test that out and see. So I'm knee deep here as I go this direction. Nope, not hitting it again. So there's just a deeper spot in the terrain. All right, guys, we're coming up here now. We'll pay attention walking up here and see if maybe run one out of there. And when I was here back in the middle of season, back when it was really cold, and checking all this out, I walked out here to this hut, and there was no no fresh cuttings on top of it. There was the water was a lot lower then, and matter of fact, I think it was dry when I walked out here, and all of the entrances were caved in, hadn't been cleaned out. But you can see right here they've got a bunch of new cuttings piled up on top. And I'm fixing to hit one of the entrances right here. There's an entrance maybe right in here. I remember from last time there's another entrance right here, just by those double trees, goes right beside it. All right, I'm gonna lay these traps down right here for a minute. I'm gonna make a loop around this hut, and look, I can see right here, right there's a hollow spot where they're going up in there. So there's gonna be a run right in here, another run right in there, and I know there's another one over on that side, and one more on the back here. But I see a goose egg right here broken, and right up here is a bunch of leaves. Looks like the geese had come in here. Oh, looks like the geese have come in here on top of this thing and built them a nest. Right here's that other entrance here, and it really, to me, still looks like it's blocked up. Yeah, it's just sticks plumb covering in here, so they're not using that entrance. I may just be using the one on the front, but yeah, that's what happened here. A goose has come in here and laid a nest. And raccoons, probably raccoons, have swum out here to it and ate the eggs out of this nest, and that's the remnants of what's left in it. So there's a good example of the predation problems that we have with predators and ground birds. So there's no eggs left in that nest. Right here's a beaver, fresh beaver chewing. Yeah, no eggs in there. A bunch of fresh peeled sticks over here on this side. So I'm just going to continue walking around it here, and yeah, here's coon tracks here coming up out of the water. Right here's some fresh leaves and stuff brought up from the bottom by the beaver. So I think those beaver may just be using this one entrance for right now. But I'm just going to continue walking around this thing, feeling for any entrances that I may have missed. Let me get over here to this one and see if it's opened up and if they're using it or not. I may have brought way too many traps. All right, so right here's the entrance, but it's out of the water. But guys, it is out of the water right now, but I do see some peeled sticks, and I actually see one little green limb right here. So I do see some peeled sticks up in that hole. There's one little green limb right there. See it? So I believe those look a little bit too big for muskrat, but it could be muskrats pulling them up in there and using it and eating it. But what we're gonna do, let's see how deep this is. I may bring a drowning rod back with me and put a foothold right here at the edge, stick it out here in the water to drown them. Yeah, it's going to be deep enough out here, so that's what I'm going to do. Instead of throwing a 330, have to be in the water. So ideally, if I could put a 330 back in that hole, up in that hole, that would be what I would do. But since regulation requires that us put 330s in the water, I'd have to put that 330 out here in the water somewhere and block it down, and that's going to really change up what they're used to seeing, so I don't want to do that. So I think think I'll leave this for right now and bring me another foothold back tomorrow and put it right here on the outside of that, right off that stick in the edge of the water. Put it on a drowning rod out here. Then go ahead and continue just right on around here. Check this other entrance, see if maybe that's the one that the beavers have got cleaned out and they're using. It's going to be underwater right in here. All right, so right there I just stepped off in the channel. I'm going to take my foot, it's pretty muddy bottom here. It's not hard like normally you'd find when the beaver's been using it for a while, but it is cleaned out. There's not any sticks in it. I can run my foot a pretty good ways up in there, and I think this is probably what the beavers are using. So I'm going to get one of these 330s rigged up, and I'm going to set it right here, right at the edge of these logs under the water where it's covering that hole coming out of there, and I'll show you guys that set whenever I get it made. All right, real quick guys, right here I'm in the middle of that channel, and I'm thigh deep in that water, about halfway between my knees and my waist. I'm right in the middle of that channel coming out of here. I step just right over here a foot, and it brings me up to my shins. So you can identify them runs real easy. Just a pair of waders and walking around out here. But anyway, I just anchored to this tree right here with my cable, and I'm gonna get this 330 opened up and set down in here, and I'll show you guys. All right guys, that trigger is loose, something awful. What we're gonna do is just take it, double it over right there and twist it, and that should hold it on that. Well, I'll be damned. There you go, just another example of things not going the way you want them to go, guys. All right, so now we're going to take this trap back to the house, put it in the fix pile, and put a different trap here. Good thing we brought more than one. Guys, while I'm standing here too, you'll catch me looking around every once in a while, and all I'm doing is take this trigger and put it back in my pocket, reuse it. All I'm doing when I'm looking around is I'm looking for that beaver we saw swimming. And I've got my pistol here with me, and if I see him, I'll try to shoot him. But a lot of times they'll hear you make a commotion over here, and they'll want to come check out what you're doing. All right, there's our broken trap. I'm just looking for my longest cable, and I may end up having to take a cable off another one to make this longer to reach that tree. But yeah, I'm gonna have to add to this. So I'm just gonna take the cable off this trap that's broke here, and I'm gonna put it on this other trap, because this one's got a longer cable on it. Alright, so I got that off there now. It's all tangled up and everything. That's supposed to be expected though. Alright. Now we're just going to take our spring clip on that one. That may be the angry goose right there that's missing his eggs now. come down here to the other end, take this other spring clip, put on here. All right, and try all this again. He's right over here and attach this back to this tree again. So I got plenty of cable. I'm just gonna go ahead and hang this up high. We're expecting a bunch of rain Wednesday. I don't know how much we'll get, but with this already flooded in here, it won't take long for the drainage and rain off to bring the water level back up. And something I always try to keep in the back of your mind, guys, because it'll cause you a lot of trouble out here beaver trapping. Actually, last year, whenever I had this set and was in here catching all those beavers out, I ended up having to leave. I think I had 3 or 4 sets around this lodge, and then I had 2 sets at that other lodge I was talking about on the other side of the run. And I had to leave all 3 sets in here for well over a month for the water to drain back out of here, and I just couldn't get to them. I'd come in here in a boat, and I actually had a potato fork, if you guys know what those are, and I think I recovered 1 trap off that other hut over there, and it was actually me laying on the front of the boat, sticking my arm shoulder deep to the water with that potato fork reaching down, and was trying to hook that trap, pull that trap up out of the water, and ended up finding one out of the 5 or 6 that I had out. But it's always a hassle. It's always a hassle whenever you have to do stuff like that, so I try to avoid it if I can. And by anchoring high right here, that'll allow me to come in here with a boat if it does get back up that high, and just simply go right there to where I got it anchored, unhook it, and then pull the trap up. So that's my thinking behind that. All right, we've got this trap set. All right, now I'm just gonna get it ready to catch something. Just like that there. Guys, with this being the way it is, I'm gonna anchor it through the springs here. We're just gonna take this this chewed stick here, peeled stick. We're gonna stick it through both of our springs. We're gonna get back down here in this channel and find the edge of these run and exactly where we want to put this thing. All right, so that run's gonna come right through here and go up in there like that right there. I'm just feeling with my foot, trying to get the exact center of that run there. That's gonna be it right there. Make sure my safeties are off. All right, there we go. I'm gonna shove that down as far as I can in the mud, and it didn't go very far. Try it again. Alright, there we go. It's a little more secure. Gonna find me a smaller stick here to put through this corner of the trap. Alright, my trap swung out a little bit, so that's why we want this corner stick in here. So right there, just like that. Alright, so I got that corner caught in there. I've got the spring secured on this side. That trap's sitting right there, perfectly in line with that run, is the way I want it. So that trap's set, and we'll leave it there. Hopefully have a catch in the morning. I can tell right here, guys, just looking, there's a, right here's where they've been coming in and out of the water and making a trail, taking those limbs up there and piling this house back up. So when I come back in here tomorrow, I'm probably gonna bring, I'll probably go ahead and bring 2 footholds in here with me on a grounder, and I can put one in that hole like I talked about right over there. And I'll put the other one right here on the bottom of that path where they're coming in and out on top of this thing. And hopefully we can get these 2 beaver caught out of here pretty quick. But that's gonna be it, guys. So I come in here wanting to make 4 or 5 sets, and we actually only made 2. But we're gonna leave that as it is right now, and then I'll get back over here and bring some more traps with me. We'll make 2 more right here on this, and I may even bring the canoe back with me and try to get over there to that other hut and look at it. But I know they're using this hut. They may be using both of these huts back and forth, but I want to get over there. Matter of fact, I may go ahead and drive over there this morning. I'll have to walk back in there to it, but I may walk down there to that hut, just look at it and see if there's any activity on it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll show you guys that other hut, and it's directly straight across from us, but I'll have to go to the other side of the lake and then walk back into it. But I'll show you guys that hut, and we'll see if there's any activity around it before we bring that canoe out here. All right, guys, hang tight, and I'll see you over there. All right, guys, we're back over here at the other side of this lake now, and basically normally this is just a ditch that comes right down through here. It feeds into this lake, and that hut's right down here, maybe about 150 yards out here into the woods on the side of this ditch coming through here. And of course all this is flooded because of the water and the rain that we've had. What I'm going to do, guys, as much as I hate carrying these heavy 330s back in there, I'm going to grab a couple of them, the setters, and I'm going to walk right across here, and I'll walk out there to that hut, and if there's any activity around it, we'll be able to set it while we're there. If not, I'll just tow them back up here to the truck, and we won't make any sets around it if there's not any activity. But hang tight with me, guys. I'll get back in here. I'm gonna keep my eyes out for that swimming beaver too that we saw earlier this morning. This was the area that he was headed to, so if he's over here working somewhere, we're gonna keep our eye out for him, try to get a shot off and get him killed without catching him in a trap. But he may have been heading to this hut and be in it too. So if that's the case, we'll get a trap guarding the entrance of it and get him caught when he comes out. But anyway, guys, hang tight. I'll get back in with you whenever we get over here. Alright, guys, here's that normal ditch that comes through here, and you can tell it's not really a big ditch at all, but normally it just drains right into here and goes out into that lake. And that beaver hut's sitting right over here on this side of it down here. But as I cross here, I don't see any fresh activity where there's a sign of a lot of beavers to make a set right in here, or that they're using it. But anyway, hang tight. Well, right here's some, when the water was up, they were actually coming up here and making a few mounds, it looks like, with the lease and stuff, marking it. Here's a fresher one down here at the edge, so that's telling me they may be using this hut too and marking this area. I wouldn't think so, but it could actually be 2 different pairs of beavers as big as this lake is. These huts are fairly close. I wouldn't think they'd be that close to each other, but it could be a pair of beavers in this hut, a pair of beavers in that other hut, and they're just young and got their houses already built, so might change that out to have close neighbors. I don't know. But then that makes me wonder about the other side of the lake. I would think one of them would take that hut that's left over that way, and then this one. But again, who knows, guys? They're animals. We'll never understand them completely. But these are 2 of the biggest, nicest huts I've seen around, so that may be what it is. They just want the pretty nice houses. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna walk down here and get to this thing and show you guys when we get there, or if I see any more signs between here and there, I'll show you. All right, guys, I'm coming up on it here now. It's right down at the edge of the water. And you guys can see how huge that thing is. There's a pair of geese that's made a nest up there on top of it. So she's not going to be happy with us. She's fixing to crank up and let us know it. Matter of fact, I don't know 100%. I want to get over close to it because them guys can get pretty mean. But just from back here, I'm not really seeing any fresh sticks or peeled sticks on top of this thing. You guys may get a show here in a minute when them geese come after me. Alright, that's what I was hoping they'd leave. You guys ever seen a goose egg? I'll show you a goose egg here in a minute. They're huge. They make probably about 6 or 7 chicken eggs. But anyway, guys, you can see some ducks taking off. Yeah, guys, I'm really not seeing any fresh activity here. One of the runs, there's a run that comes out right here. To me, it looks like it's collapsed in, hadn't been taken care of. I don't see any fresh mud up here. You can see these high water lines. These may be muskrat, coons, and other animals using the heat of this lodge. Beaver here. Looks like a few scratch marks here, but that may have been from the geese wandering around up here. But right over here is a second entrance coming into it. This is the only 2 entrances coming into this lodge that I found last year, and it looks like it's collapsed and fell in too. So looking up here, guys, I'm not seeing any fresh peeled sticks pulled up here. Right there's a goose egg. Hey, them geese are still out there. I'm watching them. They're not too happy with me being here, but I'm gonna get up here and try to look at the size of that thing, guys. Huge there compared to my hand. You know, you be lucky to carry 2 of them in your hand. All right, guys. Yeah, I feel pretty confident now them beaver are just using that one hut over there and not this one. And you can see far end over there, that's the road we come down through the middle of the lake earlier. You can see that levee. That other hut that we were at this morning where we made the sets just directly across this little channel straight over there. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Not gonna make a set here. We're gonna carry them 330s back out and bring us some footholds on drowners tomorrow. Get them set on the other lodge and hopefully get these beaver caught out of here in a couple of days. I think now it's probably just a pair of them that's moved in here. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I promised you some bee videos. I just hadn't had a chance. I've been in the hives 2 or 3 times. I just haven't had the time to take to make a recording yet, but that is in the plan. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to subscribe, hit the like buttons, so you'll know whenever I get new videos uploaded. All right, guys, thanks for watching.